Hey there, this is James Wilson with BJJ Strength Training Systems, and today I want to share some tips on how you can use the squat to help improve your guard. Now at first glance, these two things may not look like they have a whole lot in common. When you're squatting, you're standing up on your feet. When you're in your guard, you're on your back for the most part. So, but what I'm going to show you is how the fundamental movement patterns behind the guard and the squat are the same. And so you can use the squat to help strengthen and reinforce good movement habits that will then transfer over to your guard and help you with that. So I'll show you a good squat first. A good bodyweight squat. You're going to start with your feet, shoulder width apart, toes can be pointed slightly out. A couple things that I like to do that help me do this exercise better, and some coaching cues that I've found really help people do this better are a couple things. One, pretend there's a curb right behind your heel. And you want to sit your butt on that curb right behind your heel. And you're also going to have your arms up here. So imagine almost like bottom of side control. Someone's on top of you, you want to be framing up, you're protecting your ribs and nice and strong. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit down on that curb, and I'm going to let the pointy part of my elbow touch the meaty part on the inside of my knee. So this is my bottom position. So I don't want to let my weight rock forward as I come down. I don't want to come up on my toes. I want to keep my weight back on my heels, and I want to maintain a reasonably upright posture. So I'll show you from the side. You'll see how I'm staying upright, I'm staying on my toes, or I'm staying off of my toes. So again, I don't want to do this. I got to keep my weight back on my heels, keep my chest up and down. So this right here, if I lay down on the ground and did the same thing, how about if I hook my feet? Does this look familiar? Yes, now we're starting to see how the squat and the ability to control someone with your legs and move your legs in the guard position are linked. And so if you have trouble maintaining good posture with the squat, then odds are you're also going to have trouble maintaining good posture when you're in that guard position, and you're probably going to be using some crunching and things like that to try to move people around and move yourself around rather than moving the hips. So at the heart of the squat is one thing. It's the ability to keep the lower back, the core nice and strong and stable while moving from the hips. Okay, so if I can't move from the hips effectively, then what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to start using that lower back, and I'm going to lean over like this. So that gets me down, but that doesn't necessarily lower my hips down. So the ability to move from the hips is what we're looking for. And again, that's the same thing that we're looking for in the guard. It doesn't matter if we're talking half guard or full guard. Anytime you're on the back, you've got your legs wrapped around them or your opponent or one of their legs or something like that, and you're trying to control yourself, your movement, and also be able to control them a little bit from that, then you're relying on that ability to move from here and not from here to help power that and make sure you're doing it as efficiently and strong as possible. So what I'm going to do is show you a couple good squat variations that I like to use to help people really get the feeling for this. So the first one is actually with a sandbag, and I like the sandbag because it allows you to do a Zercher squat where I'm going to hold the weight in front of me like this. Now when I do this, again, everything else is the same. Feet shoulder width apart, shoulders down away from the ears. I'm thinking long collarbones. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to suck my elbows in, kind of pull my elbows back behind me. And when I do that, I'm going to feel my upper back, my lats get nice and strong. And I want to keep that nice and strong as I come down. So I'm going to do my squat. I'm going to come down. Elbows touch the inside of the knees, and I come back up. But I'm keeping that upper back nice and strong. As I come down, I'm not rounding and letting my chest cave. I want to keep my elbows as close in to my ribs as I can as I come down. Now, as your mobility improves, you're going to be able to keep them in, and the elbows will actually touch further back on the legs. But at first, you can just go with the touching out on the knees. You can do this with a dumbbell or a kettlebell. It's called a goblet squat, a little bit different. Instead of holding the weight in your arms here, what you're gonna do is hold the weight, hold the dumbbell like this in front of you, but everything else is the same. You want that upper back nice and strong. You're gonna come down, elbows touch the inside of the knees, come back up. I'm really trying to resist my chest caving as I come down. So good strong posture as I'm doing this. And then again, you can do the exact same thing with a kettlebell, holding it by the horns. Everything else is the same as with the dumbbell. So a couple good squat variations that will help you fix your squat. If you're focusing on that upper back position and maintaining good posture while you're doing your squat, instead of worrying about how much weight you're lifting or how many reps you're doing and stuff like that, then you can improve how you move. When you improve how you move off the mat, it's gonna help you move better on the mat. You're not gonna fix these movement things while you're rolling. You've gotta drill good movement, just like you drill good technique. And once you have good movement, then your technique's gonna improve as well. So that's it for this tip. Again, you can check me out on the web at bjjstrengthtraining.com. Once again, this has been James Wilson with BJJ Strength Training Systems. If you have any questions or comments, please post them on the blog there. I'll get to them as soon as I can, and I'll talk to you in the next tip.